Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show here on Flow FM, and we are checking in with Dom Leach, President of the Ouyen Rams, for our Redcliffs Cricket Report. Good to be back with you, Dom. How you doing?
Going well. Good to have you back. Thanks, Alice.
Oh, good to have me back. I think it's the first time anyone's ever said that to me. Dom, good to be back with you, particularly after the Rams recorded a great set of wins on the weekend in the Redcliffs cricket. We will start with the A's grade in what was a very important game against Nursery Ridge. Got there fairly comfortably in the end, Dom. How did it all go?
Yeah, so we had the top of the table clash against Nursery Ridge. So it was a good game, one we were looking forward to, and they tested us out more with the ball, I suppose, than the bat. They were only able to get 88, so I suppose kudos to our bowlers who bowled really good lines, and we fielded reasonably well, and we're able to restrict them to a low score. And in reply, 6 for 89 was the Rams' return. So Brad Parsons and Alex Mosh, a couple of experienced heads, were able to steer us to a reasonably comfortable win after losing a couple of early wickets. So, but yeah, all in all, pretty positive, and yeah, good to keep on the winners list.
And Dom, how did you sort of ease into the squad again after your various layoffs? I'm sure many people wouldn't have expected that you struggled too much, particularly after fronting up for the Bees in the previous week. But how did you find it, after having a few weeks on the sidelines?
Yeah, it was good. No, it was just good to be back out there. It was good to put in a good performance. Didn't trouble scores too much in the batting department, but yeah, it was good to get the gloves on and keep wickets. And yeah, like I said, the main thing is we got the job done as a team, so that was very pleasing.
All right, well, let's go around the traps and find out what else went on in Redcliffs cricket A-grade action last weekend, Dom.
Yeah, so the other game we had Tempe taking on Millua down the road at the Tempe Rec Reserve, and this was an absolute belter. We had Tempe making 8 for 158 off their 40 overs, so a good score. And Millua fell just 3 runs short, being dismissed all out in the last over of the day on the first ball of the last over. So, just 3 runs separating those two teams. Like I've probably mentioned a few times before, they always seem to have close matches, and yeah, it doesn't matter where teams are positioned on the ladder, they always seem to go right down to the wire, those guys. So that was a ripping game between Tempe and Millua. And in the B grade, we had a good win. Our boys were able to chase down Nursery Ridge's 106, just 2 wickets down. So we had Brent Mosh, Zach Harker, and Nick Vine all chip in with 30 odd, and Nick got 4 for 25 himself. So that was a good return. And the other 2 games, Fire Brigade went down to Kerwa, and Southwest easily counted for Tempe.
There we have it. Well, a pretty successful weekend for the Ouyen Rams, that is for sure. Let's take a look at what we can expect from tomorrow with the A's up against Millua, where you'll be confident going into this one, Dom.
Yeah, look, I suppose you should be confident. We're on top and they are on the bottom, so you always have a level of optimism, I suppose, but you don't ever want to take them lightly. They do have, some really key players, and like we saw last week, they're only 3 runs shy of knocking off Tempe on Tempe's home ground. So, always one to be wary of, and don't ever want to take them too lightly, I suppose.
Well, why don't you tell us, tactically how you go into this? I mean, you never want to overstep your own sort of confidence going into these types of games, and we'll be on the home stretch pretty soon when it comes to Redcliffs cricket as well. So tactically, do you change anything, or do you just go out there and do what everyone knows they need to do? Yeah,
I think the latter. I think you go there and just try and perform as best you can. I think we'll have a couple of key players back tomorrow. Dan Price and Sammy Mee be back in the fold tomorrow, so they'll slot in the top order. And I think it's normally a pretty good batting deck up there. So if we're fortunate enough to win the toss, hopefully bat first and post a score up around that 200 mark. And then you just look to bowl well and defend it, field well. And if you do those things right, which isn't always as easy as you say, but you do those things right, the result generally takes care of itself. So, yeah, hopefully just, business as usual with a bit of luck.
And what about training over the course of the week, just with those weather concerns for Victoria? Has that shaken anything up at all there in the land of Ouyen and the surrounds?
No, well, we were able to get the training in okay. We'd had a couple of nights before, we had some really ordinary weather, some storms and a few trees down and the like around the place. But fortunately, last night we were able to have a good hit out with full squad in attendance. So that was great. And, hopefully keep that continuity on the training track as you say, as we lead into the business end of the season.
All right, the other fixture that's going to be played tomorrow in A-grade Redcliffe's action, how do you see that one unfolding?
Yeah, so we've got Robinvale taking on Tempe, 4v3 over at Robinvale. I think I've probably been on the Robinvale bandwagon all year, and they haven't quite kicked along like I thought they would have. They're still sitting in fourth spot, which does give them a finals berth if they maintain that, which they should. But I think on their home ground, if they're going to do any damage come finals, Robinvale need to kick off their run home with a win against Tempe. I think they've got the cattle, they've got the blokes to do it, but they just haven't seemed to hit their form. So they'll take on Tempe, who are in reasonable form, winning their last two, I think. So it'll be a good game, and I'd say probably the home ground. I'll get Robinvale the tick.
All right, there we have it. Over to B-grade action. The Ouyen Rams Bees up against Southwest. So tell us how that one may well unfold, and also give us a bit of a look at some of the other B-grade fixtures, the other two games there in the B-grade tomorrow.
So our boys take on Southwest in a 2v3 game. So I think the ladder positions in the B-grade seem to be changing a lot each week. I think it was only a couple of weeks ago we took on Fire Brigade and they were in second place and they've slumped to fifth. So just shows how close the B grade is. But our boys taking on Southwest. They're sitting in third spot. We're sitting in second. Being on our home ground, I suppose, would favour ourselves. But they've got some good players. Aaron Nedgy's having a fantastic year. He's in amongst the runs just about every week. He's probably averaging around that 50 mark, I'm assuming. And he's very handy with the ball too. So he's the main man. He's the key playmaker for them. So I'd say, the match all hinges on getting him cheaply early and then being able to negate his swing with the ball. So if they can do that, it'll go a long way to maintaining second spot. The other games have got Fire Brigade taking on Nursery Ridge. This one, I'd have to tip Fire Brigade, given on current form. Even though they're fifth, I still think that they're a good show with some experienced players. And we've got Kerwa in first place taking on Cellar Dwellers Tempe. So although it's down at Tempe, hard to go past Kerwa, who just have a wealth of experience in their team and very hard to beat on their day.
What do you think has inspired this revival in the B grade? Because they look like they're a different side now as to what they were when the season began. I know we've sort of tried churning this one out already on the show with you throughout the season because we did start to see those changes and some more encouraging signs. But they look now like they're on their way, Doc.
Yeah, we do. It is encouraging. It is fantastic to see the boys have turned it round. I think it's probably an indication of how close the comp is, which is really healthy for cricket. There's probably a little bit of that, probably a little bit of trying times with selection through harvest. It was quite a busy harvest period leading into Christmas or pre-Christmas, so made player availability tough at times. You don't want to blame unavailability, but it does make a difference. And I think once you get on the winners list and once you realise, you can do it and, blokes are good enough, confidence is a wonderful thing. And once they all start believing in themselves, the B graders have put on a really good second half of the year and hopefully they can continue that form because winning form's good form.
That's all it takes sometimes, just a bit of self-belief. Dom Leach, we know you've got plenty of that. Dom Leach is the president of the Ouyen Rams Cricket Club, and it's been great getting another Redcliffs Cricket report out of you. Dom, thanks for your time. We'll do it all again in a week.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Alice.